Shalom and welcome back to Sabbath Saturday. I'm so glad you've joined me as we dive deep into one of the most profound debates of faith, uncovering the truth about the Sabbath. Today we'll challenge ourselves to discover what the real Sabbath day is according to Hebrew roots, the Sabbath. A sacred and debated tradition, the concept of the Sabbath is one that's deeply rooted in ancient tradition, yet still widely observed and debated today. From its origins in the Hebrew Scriptures to its modern-day interpretations and controversies, the Sabbath remains a vital part of many faiths and religious practices. Many people assume they know what the Sabbath is all about, but often misconceptions arise from a lack of understanding of its original context and purpose. For instance, some think the Sabbath is just a day of rest, while others believe it's only for Jews or a specific denomination. But what if I told you that the truth about the Sabbath is much deeper and more complex than that? According to Hebrew roots, the Sabbath is not just a day of rest, but a day of remembrance, a day to honor God's creation, redemption, and covenant with humanity. The origins of the Sabbath in the Hebrew Scriptures. Let's go back to the very beginning. The Sabbath is first mentioned in Genesis, where God rests on the seventh day of creation, setting a divine precedent for humanity. In Exodus, the Sabbath takes on a more central role as God commands the Israelites to observe it as a holy day. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. Exodus 28. According to Hebrew roots, the Sabbath is more than a command. It is a divine covenant. It is a call to pause, to breathe, and to connect deeply with the Creator. Yeshua and the Sabbath. Following his example. Yeshua HaMashiach, known to many as Jesus the Messiah, faithfully observed the Sabbath, aligning with Jewish customs of his time. The apostles and early believers continued to observe the Sabbath after the resurrection, showing its significance in both Jewish and early Christian traditions. This observance, according to Hebrew roots, underscores that the Sabbath was never abolished or replaced, but remains as a perpetual covenant, a day to realign our lives with God's purpose. The Sabbath debate, Saturday versus Sunday, fast forward to today, and interpretations of the Sabbath vary greatly. Some observe the Sabbath on Saturday as the original seventh day, while others have shifted to Sunday worship in honor of Yeshua's resurrection. According to Hebrew roots, the sanctity of the seventh day remains unchanged. It is not merely about tradition, but about aligning with God's original intent as outlined in the Torah. Advocates of Sunday worship argue that it celebrates the new covenant through the resurrection. While the debate continues, the heart of the matter remains the same: seeking God through dedicated time set apart for Him. The modern relevance of the Sabbath in today's fast-paced world, the Sabbath offers more than a moment of rest. It provides a sacred invitation. According to Hebrew roots, the Sabbath is a time to set aside worldly pursuits and listen to the still, small voice of God. It's a day to unplug, recharge, and restore our connection with the divine. In a world that's constantly in motion, the Sabbath becomes a vital practice for modern believers, a chance to rediscover our purpose and realign with our Creator. In conclusion, the Sabbath is so much more than just a day of rest or a religious ritual. It's an invitation to experience the presence of God, reconnect with our heritage, and rediscover our divine purpose. According to Hebrew roots, the Sabbath calls us to remember, to reflect, and to honor God's creation and covenant. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Sabbath in the comments below. And if you're interested in exploring more topics related to Hebrew roots, be sure to check out my other videos. Shalom, and I'll see you next time.